Hello. Today we are going to have a look at the tier list, which had slightly a change with the new release of PRB2, and we are going to look which deck should you choose to win your locals. Okay, we will start with UP Luffy. UP Luffy didn't get any support from the new set. You could play 2-cost Searcher Nami, but I think that's definitely not going to help UP Luffy out because he tries to ramp as fast as possible and not really looking for any Swordhead card. But still, the lead ability is way too strong. You can draw technically 2 cards per turn. You can stack the top 4 cards of your deck, or you can bottom deck them if you don't see any card which could help you out in this turn. So a great card and a great leader to pick. The next S tier leader is GP Luffy, and GP Luffy got way too strong support with the 2-cost Nami. As I just said, 2-cost Nami is just 2-cost, 1K counter, and you can look at the top 5 of your deck, reveal up to 1 Strawhead card, which makes this deck more consistent. So you can manage to find your Sanji Pudding in also when you go second, or you can play in the Dawn 4 turn like green Nami Searcher 2 times and 1 time 2 costs, so way too strong. Definitely a good pick. The next S tier leader, and he didn't get any support, and that's crazy, is Zoro. Zoro has a decent effect. He got many support in the... he get all he needs just out of the box with OP12. Every card gets him, like Tashigi can on-play rest one of your characters and give him 3 downs, so you have leader ability, you can destroy any character and swing high into leader, which is way too strong. And I think Zoro is a very easy leader to play. You have the recent Dawn event for 3 Dawn. You have your Tashigi curve on play, which, as I said, rest any character. So it's not as difficult to play like GP Luffy, where you have to make some decisions when you should use lead ability or not, or UP Luffy, where you need to think about maybe the next turn stacking with Nami or with the leader the right cards in the right order. So it's like every mono green leader, pretty easy to play. And talking about mono green leaders which are easy to play, we are on Bonnie. Bonnie has a very strong ability which allows her for 1 down on opponent's attack to rest any character or leader of your opinion, and she has a lot of strong green cards, but she didn't get really a support from... No, she got the 4-cost 2K counter Zoro, which is definitely a better card than other 2-cost characters. So he can be just a 2K, but you can also use Zoro to play him out as a blocker. And she got the 3-cost Bonnie, which allows you to restand a Dawn on opponent's attack, so you can use the full potential of your Dawns and then restand 1 Dawn with the 3-cost Bonnie. The next deck is... do we have any S tier decks? Yes, we have Rayleigh, mono red Rayleigh. I think I don't need to say very much about Rayleigh. He didn't get any support from PRB2, but it's a strong deck, so clear. Then we're moving on to category A. this will be Sanji. Sanji seems to play more and more. I saw him in some European tournaments, in some European regionals, especially this guy from Croatia, which is very famous, played also Sanji, and he was top. He went to the top cut, but I don't know if he went to top 16. But he made it until top 32, which is a very decent performance. And the good thing about Sanji is a lot of players don't know how to play against it, so it can have this surprise effect. So definitely something you should pick. Then we have some yellow leaders like Enel, which is getting stronger, and Calgara, but the support was from OP12 with Kuma. And I mean, Kuma made every yellow deck definitely stronger, because for 6 you can just put one card from your top of your deck on the top of your life. That's very strong. And Calgara got on OP12 the new small 5-cost Calgara, which allows him to draw if any time is alive is taken. So definitely something you can take on a local. We have Black Yellow Luffy. Yes, Black Yellow Luffy had his own S meta last year with Gekkomoria. Gekkomoria get banned, and he went definitely way down to B or C. But now we have a new 5-cost Ace from PRB2, which allows you, if you have 2 life or less, I think, you can play any 2-cost character from your trash rested. So it means you can get any baby Luffy, Zoro, baby Luffy, Sabo, or Ace back from your trash, which allows you to play another card out of life. The problem with Black Yellow Luffy is, I think he is, like the other Luffy decks, a little bit more complicated to play comparing to the green decks, or Raid is also a little bit more complicated. But in the green decks is just smash one character per turn and then use lead ability or don't. So you don't have to make many decisions, complicated decisions. You have your curve, you have your line, that's it. Then a deck which surprised me, it went top 8 in Milan the last weekend, is PRB1 Sanji Leader. And guys, this card got 2 very strong support cards with the new Law from PRB2 and Kobe. Especially Law is able to swing with the lead ability in the same turn, and he has the when attacking effect, reduce one of your opponent's characters by 2k, so you can destroy every character or get some cards out of hand. And the Law is cannot KO him, or if your opponents try to remove him, he says just reduce the power of this character by 2k, so he is then still a 5k character which you could counter out or block. And I will put also category, but at the end of this, categories, let's say category is B. Yes, he got also the Kuma support, but I think there is still something missing for this leader, and 7k swings are not as strong as it was in the first time of the game, so that's why I put him on B. Then we have Rob Lucci, which can be A or B. I would say B. Why B? I mean, he's from removing one of the top deck leaders, or that top deck leader, but you have nowadays every color has any way to protect the board, especially green has Tashigi, the 2k blocker. Yellow has cards which protect themselves or have a KO ability which you don't want to trigger, like Kuma. So it seems to be a little bit weaker than in the sets before. We go with Sakazuki, which was unbanned. I mean, it was 1 year banned, and at the time, it was one of the strongest leader ever, which has a huge impact, strong ability. But here's the same problem with Lucci. You have a lot of very fast decks now, and you have a lot of decks, or all decks have any way to protect their board, so not strong enough. Gecko Moria, luckily he got some support with the 6-cost Moria. It's not as good as the 8-cost Moria, but there are some ways where you can handle many situations. Like, I mean, let's say you are on your Tendon turn, you can play the 4-cost Rebecca, grab your Moria back out of the trash, play Moria for 6, then you can play any 4-cost character. It doesn't have to be a filler-bug character from your trash, which means you could play Kuzan, rested, draw a card, and then you have a pseudo blocker because your opinion wants to get rid of Kuzan. So yeah, and he has the surprising effect, so definitely something you should be aware. Moving on to Lim. I will put Lim on A because she is a decent leader, and especially if your opinion don't know how to play a game against Lim, he will lose the game. First of all, Lim needs to go first. So it means if you win the dice, let Lim go second. And the second thing is, don't try to focus too much on board, because Lim can play every turn like 2 characters. You should go into life. Why into life? You need to rush these 4-cost leaders like Lim or green, blue, Zorro as fast as possible down, and if you are on a decent point, you can then start thinking about going to board or going to life or lethal. So if the opinion is strong player, he can handle Lim, but it has still this surprising effect, and I will put Lim definitely before these two. Okay, then we have one of my favorite decks, Green Yellow Law, which also got some support from OP12 and I think nothing from PRB. Well, Zorro, you could also play the 4-cost 2 counter Zorro here. I mean, it's a strong deck. There are some very cool techniques you could use, but it's a 4-cost leader and the effect is strong, but you are killing yourself technically, so it's a difficult deck to play. I mean, if you make one mistake with this deck or with this deck, you are just losing the game. We have Kuzan on A. Yeah, Kuzan is a decent leader. He has a nice ability. He's mono leader, which is always something good because you have 5 lives, so you draw 1 card more. But also here is something is missing. I mean, until you can play Garb, so that means until you are on your 8-cost turn, 8 down turn, this leader doesn't doing very much. He's just searching, so you have your small searches, but there is missing some mid-game support, which allows him to maybe play out something on the 4-cost or 5-cost 5 down turn. You could play the Usopp engine, but that also means you need to put some vanillas because Usopp says is a 4 cost 6k, I think, or 5k. On play, if you have 2 or less characters with, I don't know how much power, you can play a character with 5 with 7k or 5k, I don't know. But it doesn't help the deck build, so that's why we put him on A. And I would say let's move this one and these two down because they are definitely good, but I think there are some better decks in the A category coming. We have Law. Law seems to be played since OP1 consistently. Some Law lovers will stay on this deck, but I think, you're building your board with small characters which are not really doing very much, like in the Red Sour deck, where every small character is able to swing, or in Rarely, where you also find a way to swing with everyone's characters. So that's why we put him on C. Also, Dofi had his time to shine, but nowadays, there are definitely better decks. Then we move on to ST21. It's a strange way to play a red aggro deck, but if you see the right line with your 1 cost Naomi, which allows you to put a Restodon onto your leader, then it can do some magic. Unfortunately, Belobati is nowadays in the OP12.5 Meta just on B. Why? Because she has one very good matchup that's against UP Luffy, but as you can see, there are 4 other decks which can easily beat Bello. The green decks, just clearly, he can rank up to 6 and has the ability, has Gangnam Giant, and Rayleigh, I would say, is definitely more aggro than Bello, and then you just lose. Rosinante, if your opinion don't know how to play against Rosinante, it's a 80-20% chance to win the match, but if your opinion know how to handle Rosinante, then easy game. Purple Luffy. I am a Purple Luffy player. I will put him on A. Why? Because he can ramp fast. He has all cards, all the purple cards, of course, which these 2 decks also can use, like Giant. He has now Katakuri, but he is definitely not as strong as these guys here. Teach, that's for sure. He is S tier. He got some support in PRB with the new 4 cost, what was it, Shiryu, which is a blocker and allows you to KO a character from your opinion. So yeah, we can play him. Smoker is for me A tier because he got the new law from PRB2 and he also has Mihawk. That means you can play Mihawk on your 8 Dawn turn, then you get 4 Dawns back, then you lose lead ability, then you are up to 6 Dawn, and if you manage to have the 5 cost Smoker, you can get back to 7 Dawn, so you use just 1 Dawn to play Mihawk A cost blocker, which is way too strong. Buggy didn't get any support from PRB2, but from OP12 with the 2 cost Buggy, 6k, 6 cost 7k, and means you have a new target for your promo Buggy, so definitely some support here. Shanks, OP12 got some decent cards, but is not managing to beat the most decks here, so that's why we put him on A. Katakuri got also some support from PRB2 with the new 7-cost Pudding. A very decent card, but the ability is, if the setup is not correct, if you don't have your right cards on board, not that strong. Very strange effect to look at the top deck of your opinion, and the only card you can, which is good, and you use in Katakuri to have the benefit of this effect is Perospero, but he needs definitely more. Look at the top of your opinion deck support cards, which are strong. Vegapunk, if you're a good player playing against a bad player, you will have an easy matchup with Vegapunk. But now it's definitely not as strong as other decks. But he will get some support in OP13. Decent support, so he could manage to go up to A. Then we are going to Marco. It's a fan favorite card, it's a fan favorite deck. It has strong cards, but still 4 life, too slow. I mean, if you play against Rayleigh or Belobati or anything else, which is aggro, you have no chance. Nami, we will went up to A. It has some very strong 2 cards. It has the blue color, which allows to play Pudding, 4-cost Pudding, which is crazy card. So I would say A is fine. Also Sanji with the events, which you can use with the lead ability for free. Definitely something you can pick. Pudding, don't need to talk. Just see Yamato. I will put Yamato on. Also see it has had some support from the new ST decks, but still not strong enough. Koala needs more support. We got something with PRB, the new Sabo, but still not really strong deck. Kid I would put to A because he is a mono yellow leader. If he can manage to have enough life, he can gain every turn a new blocker. There are some decent supernova cards, so it's worth it to put him on A. And the last deck, even some guys say she's definitely better. It's Windsmoke Reiju, which I put on B because I don't know, the deck is doing okayish, but not enough to beat most decks in the category S or A. So that's why we put her on B. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching my video. I wish you a nice day and don't forget to subscribe my channel.